AK Patters, happy Saturday presentation. We're talking about Zack Snyder and one of my favorite comic book adaptations of all time, The Watchmen. Maybe behind The Crow, the greatest comic book adaptation as a live action we have ever seen, more or less will ever seen. I really do believe the Watchmen Deluxe Edition, and that's the one that has the Black Freighter animation rolled right into it, is one of the all-time cinematic feats. And yes, cinema, not blockbuster, not tentpole movie. That is how deep I believe that The Watchmen cuts. And guess what? Zack Snyder is our boy. He's behind it, and he changed Watchmen forever. What am I talking about? I have to bring you into the Art of Watchmen book, because right now, I'm no exaggeration. I was sitting down, I was just going through it. I'd like to kind of sit down with this stack. So I was going through the Man of Steel, Sucker Punch, and Watchmen, and I forgot this one detail in the production of the Watchmen movie. I'm not spoiling any of this in my headline. I'm not spoiling any of this in my thumbnail, because hey, I love surprises. So let's hit that drawing table. Let's get our mind blown collectively. And yes, I'll just show off a little bit of some of the other books I was just sitting down with. And I apologize if I led into this video with comments on the live stream or something else. This video is an emergency video. We're bumping something else, but hey, we're content kings now. We're actually weeks ahead of schedule on everything. I love it so much. And yes, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. video drop. So guys, subscribe, support, leave a comment. We're doing things that no one else is doing. We're having insight that no one else has. And we're opening up avenues of discussion passionately, because I do love this stuff. And I know so many of you, my AKA Patters, echo that. So guys, let's sit down. Let's hit that drawing table, and let's get our minds blown by Zack Snyder. AK Patters, say hello to our boy Crypt. You guys know him, the greatest 90s creation of all of them. Created by Stephen Platt with a little bit of help from Bob Liefeld. And cheers, get yourself some nice iced coffee. It's not in the morning, it's actually late at night. And one of the reasons why I love the drawing table in Philadelphia during the summer is that, basically the sun drops at 8 o'clock at night. And it's the way it cuts in, the natural lighting, I absolutely love it. Speaking of natural lighting, awkward segue. So I just wanted to show off a little bit of my Watchmen stack. A little bit. Because it's not just Watchmen, it's just the movie. But as you can see here, I keep the original books. I don't know where the rest of the stack went. But we have, this is Watchmen as it was originally presented. It's important. I think this is important because the color grading and the Watchmen has been recolored so many times. It's almost like the original feeling of this book when it's reproduced from version to version is lost. And we really are doubling down on this is why slabbing books is a threat. And we're just doubling down on owning the originals. And I know owning the original, I always say, know the material first, then get the originals. It might take time to track them down for a good price, but if you care about it, the originals matter. So we have the original Watchmen series that kind of goes into trade paperback, and you guys can see, right? Like the color grading is already it's shifted. It's not even close. And for here, I kind of just want to stick to the end, right? When we get a revelation of exactly what Ozymandias is doing. And he goes, I did it, I won, I outsmarted all of you. He kills Rorschach. Silk Spectre, Night Owl finally, and everyone, when they talk about the ending of Watchmen, to me it's amazing that they always act like Dr. Manhattan leaves Earth as if he's like angry, as if he left Earth out of disgust. He leaves Earth and he's completely satisfied with what happened with Silk Spectre because she found a level of happiness that he could never give her. Then he smiles here and then he disappears forever. But we all know the ending of Watchmen, right? Like, we know that Ozymandias creates world peace, right? By faking an alien invasion. And throughout the book, like, we're teased about the world peace. Because we see, let me just show you. Yeah, like here, we have this barge. And Ozymandias just nukes the barge because these are the people behind creating the physical part of the alien invasion. Like there's an artist there. There's like it's almost like a film crew. But he nukes them. Yeah, he gets rid of that evidence, and we get this. So the whole point of the Watchmen is that Ozymandias does something very comic book while in a comic book to trick the world into peace because everyone's literally on the verge of nuclear war. And then this is the part of the Watchmen analysis that I haven't spotted anyone that caught this. And hopefully this is why you guys promote and push the channel. When we deal with the Black Freighter, we have this, and we have the individual, the black kid, and the purveyor, the guy selling the magazines, right? We see them throughout the book, and as things are happening in the real world, we kind of always cut back to stuff happening around the city and the kid reading the Black Freighter. And everyone always questions the meaning of this. Well, the meaning is simple, and the meaning is revealed here. Because the old man, he asks the kid, he's like, why do you keep reading the book over and over? And the kid says, because they don't make sense. That's why I got to read them over and over. Meaning, the Watchmen itself, this is a commentary on the book itself. The way Ozymandias creates world peace makes no sense. But it makes sense because it's a comic book. Well, guys, time to get into some Zack Snyder. Just remember that. But yeah, I also have this deluxe edition. Paper quality is a little bit different, a little bit closer to the original. I buy as many of the different editions as Watchmen as possible. Not the absolutes, though. I'm not crazy about the absolutes. I was just looking at the Zack Snyder art of Superman. Like, look at some of this. I love reading this book. I read this book a lot. Because I do feel like the concept design work, the direction, what he chooses to end up on screen is... I think this is one of the great art-directed, creative direction feats in modern cinema. I would put Man of Steel because I love the music too, like the tones, like the beats, the music when Clark shows up. It's just really cool stuff. The visuals for this movie I absolutely love. So anyway, so I was just sitting down and I was just like kind of like thinking. So I got into the art of the film recently. And also, guys, just shout out for watching The Watchmen. This is just the absolute amazing making of book for Watchmen. And it's done by Chip Kidd, I believe. Chip Kidd kind of has this everything goes to the edge design style. Like, he pushes everything to the edge of the paper. He's the paper texture here, we call that a high pass. But nice documentation and just the guts of getting the Watchmen going. Can't recommend this enough. So I was the art of the film, The Watchmen, right? And what have I been teasing this whole time? Well, not... I wasn't teasing amazingly screen accurate portrayals here. In the beginning, when Zack Snyder, like here, we have David Finch from Top Cow doing some design work. Yeah, when we get into the beginning of the movie, like, isn't this awesome? Like, real quick, this gets my jollies off. Look at all of this text. Just to read and memorize. Oh, I love it. I love it. But let's get into, look, we have the layout of the, I think this is the prison. No, this is Manhattan's lab. And look, see, we lay it out. We blueprint it out to where when he's huge, when Dr. Manhattan's hugey over here, we know exactly what's around him. Again, so many details in these movies. And through the making of, like, we get these, like, these are the Zack Snyder drawn storyboards. And we get them, and, we see how they sync up with some of the imagery in the comic. And again, there's nothing... Well, I think this is special. This book is special because it does reveal... It just shows you more and more of the movie. But then we get to the end. I always loved the promo posters. I kind of always wanted these. I don't know why. I always wanted these. Maybe I'll buy them. I'm sure they're cheap. But and then we have these too. So there was a Watchmen portfolio. And Zack Snyder recreates the portfolios 1-to-1. For some of the promo stuff. So, like, as this movie was coming out, right? Like, we had all the signs. And then for some reason, people really flipped out when they saw it. They mentally went in the wrong direction. And some of it could have been the design of Silk Spectre. Some of it could have been the design of Ozymandias. I don't know. I like Ozymandias in... like the muscled Michael Keaton Batman Bob Ringwood, look that name up, suit. It's a mirror being held up to itself, and I think it works. But yeah, a lot of people came in heavy against the Watchmen. But then for this book, we get to page 61. And we're back to Zack Snyder, right? He's illustrating, he's drawing the sequence. And we see how, again, shot by shot, it syncs up with the comic book panels. Then we get to page 62. And you guys ready? We have these unseen Watchmen pages. We have the nuclear explosions going off. We have Nixon and Silk Spectre over here coming to Times Square in New York City. We have Richard Nixon freaking out. We have a 9-panel grid here of the past, present, and future kind of colliding together. So what are these pages? We have a bolt of lightning shooting from Ozymandias' Arctic pyramid. Company logo and Evil Fortress. And we even have the really tight Dave Gibbons layouts. So what is this? Well, this is the ending of the movie. This is replacement pages for the actual book. So we would probably insert some of these, right? Like maybe we can kind of figure out where we would. So we would maybe insert some of these like here. For issue 12, the beginning of issue 12, we see what the destruction looks like. And then the arrival of Dr. Manhattan. So all of these just could be different cities completely destroyed. So what does the text reveal? Well, Zack Snyder commissioned Dave Gibbons to recreate what they thought would be the ending of the movie in comic book form. So they went to the book first. They read the book and they said, this alien invasion stuff really makes no sense. But we like this nuclear war breaking out, and we like blaming Dr. Manhattan, and we like Dr. Manhattan leaving Earth. We think the audience can get on board with this. So Dave Gibbons says, that's a great idea. I'll take your money. And he illustrates the end of the movie in comic book form first. They paid respect to Watchmen being a comic book masterpiece. They redraw the pages. And then they make the movie. And there we go. And we even get like a couple original Dave Gibbons illustrations. Tales of the Black Freighter. I always call it Curse of the Black Freighter. So we get these things, you know, we get the Comic-Con scene. You know, they dropped this at Comic-Con. So people kind of want to say that Zack Snyder doesn't know comics, he doesn't understand comics, and, you know, a lot of fluff. But Zack Snyder cared enough about getting Watchmen correct that he knew what changing the ending meant. And this is how he rectified it. He made a excuse to go along with it, and it works because the explanations of the alien invasion that are littered through issues 1 through 12. Well, mostly 1 through 11, because 12 is the end. But 1 through 11, we're teased on what Ozymandias is up to. And the audience would never buy it. I still feel that. So, guys, Zack Snyder and the missing Watchmen pages. It's amazing. It really is.